Hello and welcome to week 5 of the summer Blockbuster. This week I'm probably surprising absolutely no one and picking a Toho game, but there is a little bit of a story behind why I'm picking this. A few months ago, back in January, Fresno asked a question on Formspring, what's a game you don't think you'll ever beat? And I mentioned a few games that were simply too hard for me, but I probably surprised some people with my first main answer, which was Toho Sangesi Great Fairy Wars. This is the only Toho game at that point that I simply gave up on. I write here about how hard it is and there's too many bullets, but I specifically say the extra stage is equally insane and the only one I've yet to beat. Each Toho game has what is known as an extra stage. It's something that takes place after the main storyline, and they only have one difficulty, which is very rough. The main game will have 4 difficulties, so I'd beaten all of the extra stages except for this one. This is the one that I just couldn't do it and I gave up, and this game was about a little over a year old when Fresno asked that question, and he reminded me of that game. The one that got away, the one I gave up on, so it was directly him that inspired me to play that game again and eventually beat it. And I haven't played any of the other games I mentioned as too hard, but this one's for you, Fresno. So what sets this apart from other shooters is that in addition to just shooting and dodging and bombing, you also have a shield made of ice that can freeze bullets, and this stage is really designed to push that to its limit. So as you can see there, I used it just to clear those bullets out. But then this part up here, you really gotta wait for the right moment to then release and fill the whole screen, because you freeze one bullet and then bullets that get frozen will freeze other bullets, so it can cause a chain reaction very quickly. So right here, that enemy releases a sort of ring of bullets, and if you don't freeze it, it'll fan out and cover the entire screen and kill you. So you've got to really watch the timing to capture it and the red bullets from the fairies in the back. Another freeze, so this stage really pushes your timing to the limit in a lot of ways, and just recognizing and memorizing patterns. So this section, just a lot of green bullets. It's actually not very hard, it just looks very impressive. On the right side of the screen we have some numbers that I'll explain now. Motivation is your number of lives, so right now I just hit 300%, which is an extra life. Ice power is the charge attack that you have. The higher the better, it lasts longer, so it will freeze more. And perfect freeze is the number of bombs you have. You can have up to 3 at once. I've got 2 right now with 218%, and ice area at the bottom is the strength of your shot attack, the regular bullets. Just the more you do, the stronger it gets, so you get pretty strong in the stage because you're just freezing constantly. And I call these guys the Green Parade because they just kind of move down and shoot at you. And now we have the first mini-boss. What's notable about these is this is one of the few times in Toho that you fight 2 characters at once. For this first phase, you only have to defeat one of them and then it moves on. So I always go for the one on the left, and then I get a little trapped there, so I use the first bomb just to clear the screen. This part's not too bad, they just kind of big fan of bullets. So this third phase is kind of tricky though. They kind of release these arcs of big white bullets, so stay in the middle and kind of don't move much because they're aimed at you. And for this part you have to defeat both of them to move on. Now, and since they keep running off the screen, it's very difficult to hit them. When the ice breaks after a charge, it does damage, so like right there, do a lot of damage because the ice broke while she was underneath it. And once one is done, they're fairly easy to take out the other one. But you've got to be ready because as soon as she dies, more enemies come. These guys throw knives that fan out. So you kind of want to just... The more knives there are, the more they'll chain react off each other, so you can hide in the corner and get a big combo. Now those red bullets there that aren't being frozen, they're fireballs. So you've got to avoid them because you cannot freeze them. They'll just go right through anything you do. This part is very tricky, and unfortunately I die right about here. So here's how you actually do it. Sort of lead the bullets from one side, move up a bit, then freeze, then sort of back up, and and lead them the other way. So you freeze, cover your retreat, and then head to the other side. And one more time, and I think this section should be about over. And what's next? Oh, next is the green guys. They aren't too much trouble. All you have to do is just move a little bit to avoid the big waves. And some more come, and they just shoot them down. I probably did that last freeze a little bit early. Now the ring enemies come back. See, this stage is really like learning these tricks and learning how to do it. But this one's a little bit harder because now you've got two ring enemies at once, so you want to be between them in order to freeze both, and then I screw this part up. They're on both sides of the screen. You want to shoot one before it even does the ring at once, but I failed to kill her in time, so I just used a bomb to get by. And here we have the final part of the stage. This is sort of what I call the third green parade. But this time they're mixing in fireballs, so you've got to be really careful not to get hit, obviously, because, yes, there's not much to say about this section. It's just freezing and moving, because everything's kind of aimed at you. And I do like to drop the freeze in the middle. It helps kill enemies. The longer it lasts, though, the harder it is. So now we're at the boss. The boss is Marissa. So, in order to prove that she's the strongest, Chirino decides to fight a human. Unfortunately for her, Marissa is no ordinary human. She's even got a little bit of magic, you might say. So, this is the first spell card. Spell cards are the sort of named attacks in Touhou. They're very flashy and pretty, and it's a good way, by giving attacks names, you can sort of reference them. Easy. And this attack is sort of an introduction to the gimmick of this fight, which are those big yellow beams there. So since your motivation is on a percent, when you get hit by those beams, they don't outright kill you, but they will drain your motivation, which is basically damaging you still. Kind of neat for a shoot 'em up to have sort of a health bar system like this, despite the fact that the game still has one-hit kills. So this is her second non-spell card. She just spams the screen with blue bullets, making the freeze less than effective because it only gives you a few seconds of a breather. So this attack here, her second spell card, light attack, shoot the little moon. This is sort of a toned down, actually not really toned down, but it's a similar attack to one she used in An Imperishable Night, where she would fire these lasers from behind you, and that also ended up being used in Phantasmagoria of Flower View as her counterattack. So right there when I beat that, it said no miss something, I don't know. Basically that means that I did not use any bombs or die on that attack. Sort of known as a spell card capture. Now this attack is a pain. She fires the big sort of metal ball at you, and that fires red bullets, and then she fires blue bullets, so you want to save your freeze for when she's firing those, because you just can't dodge that. And it's hard to really get underneath her and shoot her on this one, because those things also, the ball will block your shots. So you really damage this one with the ice itself when it breaks on top of her. But this one can be a pain. I do pretty well at it right now, and I think I do capture this one. Boy, this is the first time I've had to really breathe. I've been like rushing to keep up my commentary with everything that's happening. So, okay, no miss victory, so I captured that one. Now her non-spell cards get a lot harder. They're sort of repeating the first three, but with fireballs mixed in. So drop a ice block really close to her, and I get hit by the last bullet leaving the screen. That was so painful. This attack I'm not quite sure how to deal with. Just really kind of want to freeze the blue stars before they become fireballs, and you can't do anything about them. And drop a bomb to save myself, since you always want to bomb before dying. Well, not so much in this game, I guess, because your bombs carry between lives. So now, this is a very ugly one. So it's the non-ending blue pattern, but now she's got fireballs mixed in. So freeze is not going to do a whole lot here, but bombing will. So now we have the Master Spark style flashlight. So this one, the yellow beam becomes really relevant again. You don't want to get hit by that because it will drain your motivation, but you don't want to get hit by a star because that'll really kill you. And I just totally eat a full beam there. I'm not sure how much motivation that really drained from me, but not too bad. I've noticed the laser, the yellow lasers, they're more of a fake out technique, it seems, because they get you paranoid because you're like, oh, I don't want to get hit by that and lose motivation, but then you get hit by a bullet and lose even more. So partway through the fight now, they have a little bit of dialogue that I casually don't read out loud, sorry. The non-spell cards are getting pretty darn intense here. This one really messes me up badly. Die there. Okay, next spell card is... yeah, this is another one I'm not quite sure what the hell to do on. So drop a bomb there. This one, kind of... obviously just keep freezing to prevent there being too many bullets on screen. So I probably should have tried to dodge that. Drop another bomb to save myself. Barely a victory. So that's what it says when you bomb. Okay, oof, got nailed there. This non-spell card, you want to sort of freeze the yellow bullets because those are aimed at you, and then navigate through the fireballs. Not quite as easy to do as it is to say, though. So die twice on this one, not very good. Next spell card. Oh, this is the weird one. I've never really figured this one out at all. It's rotating bombs and bullets and beams of light everywhere. It's just like, what is going on? So it's not very difficult, though. You just sort of follow the metal balls because they block the light. And you get crushed and die right as you get in a bomb. I think dying actually gives you a lot of perfect freeze, because I always seem to get another bomb right as I die, and I go, oh, I should have used that, but it's obviously because I died that I'm getting another bomb. This one's also very hard to damage because the balls keep blocking your shots. That sounded dirty. I wish this one would just end. Okay, this is the most ridiculous one. It's a sort of an inverse of the last one. You want to freeze the yellow bullets and sort of find a way to jump through the stream of fireballs, but once again, easier said than done. So drop a bomb at the last second to save myself, and now... oh, we're not. This one, she sort of rains them down like meteors. If you get to the bottom, you can freeze the stars that come up from behind you. But if you freeze too high like that, well, it doesn't chain react as much, and then I get smacked by an asteroid anyways. And now we're on her survival card. So this one, every extra stage in Touhou, the second to last card is always a survival one where you have to survive for a minute or more. So this one's, and they always sort of start easy and then get kind of crazy by the end. This attack in particular is based off an attack Marissa uses in the fighting games and in in Double Spoiler. This is one of her, well, it's a variation of one of her attacks where she's firing the Master Spark around and, yeah, trying to aim at you. So moving in a sort of triangle formation makes it fairly easy to dodge, but as I mentioned, as this card goes on, it gets worse and worse. So I drop a bomb there just to clear the screen in those unmovable sort of curves, because I didn't have time to freeze them and dodge her at the same time. So I figured, let me just clear this out right now and then have a chance at dodging this part. And just 4 seconds left. Can he make it? No! Smashes into a bullet, unfortunately. What the? I can't believe you're this strong. This is kinda nuts. Give me a break already. This'll be the end of it. I'll smash you beyond all recognition. So this is her final attack. The Fairy Destruction Ray. And there it is. So if there's one attack where you really don't want to get hit by the motivation drainer, it's this one. So just move back and forth underneath the metal balls. I don't know if they're really metal, but I just keep calling them that because that's what they look like. So dodge the bullets and sort of freeze to give yourself a turning point when they reach the side. Then once you've done enough damage, the pattern changes and gets more intense. So this is phase 2 and things are starting to heat up. But this attack's Oh, and right here I hit level max, so because the stage has gone on so far, I've reached the maximum power level, which you can't even really do in the main game itself. So she's firing out like lasers from all directions now, which isn't particularly helpful at this point, but does look cool. I think it's about to break, and well, maybe one more pass. Okay, so now she's on her final phase. Screw freezing. I'm just gonna fill the whole fucking screen with fireballs. So I bomb because I got nowhere to go, and then took a little bit from the laser there, and I'm hovering right on motivation level, but she has been defeated. How's that? So that's the Great Fairy Wars extra stage. There's a little bit of post-game dialogue where Marissa saves face by saying like, yeah, I went easy on you. So in the end, Chiruno lost the fight, but she did pretty good against Marissa. Fairies can't always win, I guess. So, see you next week for week 6, where unfortunately I guess we'll not be playing Touhou. What a shame.